In my 7 years of growing African nightshade, there are few challenges I have noticed. There is always high demand for Managu as a vegetable, but the problem is the inconsistent supply. Investors in this business encounter barriers such as poor quality and varieties of African nightshade seeds. This causes shorter harvesting cycles, which lowers their profitability. Another challenge is market value mismatch, which is caused by changing consumer tastes and preferences. Some farmers also fail to meet the strict quality standards and supply consistency that hotels and supermarkets require. So, are there any solutions to these challenges? Yes, and here is exactly how we fix it. Number 1, the golden rule for longer harvest. Now that demand exists, how can we extend our harvest for 6 months or more? Tip number 1, pinch the growing points early, roughly 2 weeks after transplanting. Pinch off the very top of the main stem. This forces the plant to branch out laterally, creating a bushy shape with vastly more leaves to harvest. Tip number 2, cut, don't uproot. When harvesting, cut or pluck the stems roughly 5 cm above the ground, ensuring you have at least 5 cm of the lower stem intact. This practice preserves the nodes so that the plant can rapidly regenerate new side shoots. Tip number 3, pluck the flowers regularly. This is the most critical trick for longevity. As soon as you see small white flowers forming, pinch them off. If the plant is allowed to focus its energy on growing berries, it will stop producing new leaves and the foliage will turn bitter and tough. But deflowering is not sustainable when doing large-scale farming. Is there any alternative? Yes, there are 2 alternatives. Number 1, harvest strictly every other week, waiting 5 to 7 days after successful harvest. This inhibits fruit set in the flowers. Alternative number 2 is explained here. Tip number 4, implement high nitrogen feeding ratios. Because Managu is a heavy feeder, apply well-composted chicken manure or high nitrogen organic top dressing every 2 weeks to force the plant to aggressively sprout fresh, soft vegetative shoots. This solves the second puzzle of deflowering because it delays fruit formation. Some people don't know that this method extends vegetative phase for 6 months or more. Tip number 5, strict pests and disease protocols. If you don't watch out for cutworms, aphids, and red spider mites using organic options like neem oils, diseased stem cannot regenerate efficiently. But there is something we are missing here. If you are doing large-scale African nightshade farming, incorporating both synthetic chemicals and organic options is the best way if you want huge profits. That said, without rule number 2, all the other rules are useless. Number 2, the golden rule of seed choice. 9 out of 10 farmers complain about poor quality and varieties of African nightshade seeds. Now, let us first identify the root of the problem before we get to the possible solutions. Problem number 1, market rejection reality or giant versus local. Large corporate suppliers push giant nightshade, that is Solanum scabrum, because of their high leaf weight. However, local market traders such as Mama Mboga or Marikiti wholesalers frequently reject it. They claim it has a flat taste, high water content, and spoil instantly during transport. Some suspicious customers says it looks like kale. Now, this is where the problem even become worse. Traditional buyers, especially elderly people, want the local types. African nightshade called Solanum villosum. It has a smaller, darker leaves, a distinct, slightly bitter traditional taste, and a much longer leaf harvest period than the giant nightshade. But this local type, Solanum villosum, exhaust themselves only after 4 weeks of harvest. So, it cannot help us achieve our million profit dream. Fortunately, we have possible fixes to these challenges. But before then, let us identify problem number 2. Problem number 2, the 4-week harvest trap. Unsatisfied local seeds or poorly bred local varieties flower prematurely. Once the plant puts its energy into those orange berries, leaf production completely stalls after just 3 to 4 weeks. At this point, let us not wait anymore. Let us fix all these problems. Fix number 1, to realize higher profit margins, we are to use certified improved black nightshade seeds sourced from verified research bodies such as Calro or the World Vegetable Center. The improved African nightshade is specifically Solanum villosum and Solanum scabrum crosses. Selected local strains like Nuru from Calro performs equally better. This specific category of improved indigenous seeds solves both problems simultaneously. It gives the market the exact look and taste consumers demand while possessing the genetic breeding required for long-term extended harvesting. Fix number 2, fighting fake and substandard seeds. Counterfeit packaging using the logos of big suppliers is a massive issue in East Africa. Rogue merchants pack unselected seeds into branded envelope under the name of black nightshade. This confuses loyal investors. The only way is to authenticate seed packets using government verification system such as KEFIs in Kenya. Do you know that you can successfully harvest and cure your own true to type seeds from a verified parent? But before then, let us get into fix number 3. Fix number 3, Solanum americanum, Solanum villosum crosses. Before I say anything, you have to understand that this fix number 3 is only limited to agri-profit finding. We created this variety accidentally in our farm and is the best so far. It is from a line that survived naturally. It possesses built-in resistance to local strains of aphids and root knot nematodes that devastate commercial seeds. This landrace variety is built for continuous multi-tiered branching. Every time you pick a stem, it triggers 3 to 4 secondary shoots instead of shutting down. It also features a deep fibrous root network tailored only to our local soil microbes. It absorbs nitrogen and groundwater far more better than laboratory-bred varieties, allowing it to regenerate leaves effortlessly for up to 1 year. Now, here is the kicker. Instead of bitter taste, the leaves are sweet when cooked. We discovered that both children and elderly people enjoy the vegetable. That's why the Managu leaves you see in this video are unique. But don't be carried away by our findings, because these fixes will fail if you don't. Number 1, eliminate water stress. It triggers early flowering because if the soil dries out, even for a few days, the plant panics, assume it is dying, and rushes to produce flowers and seeds to preserve its generation. No wonder drip irrigation tricks the plant into thinking it is forever raining, keeping it in vegetative leaf production mode. Number 2, eliminate transport losses. You can grow the crop perfectly, but transport losses destroy your profits. Instead of dumping leaves in standard 90 kg bags or mitumba bags where 30% of the harvest rot due to heat, wash, sort, grade, and package Managu leaves into 500 gram branded clear polythene bags or use perforated bags. Cut production cost to almost zero. I discovered that you become more serious in agribusiness when you stop to calculate your profit per acre and start to calculate your profit per kilogram. Profit is not just about selling high, it is also about keeping production cost low. That is why using local available resources is the best way to cut cost. Number 4, master the market. Any random investor getting into African nightshade farming game fails because they don't understand the market. Local open-air markets such as Wakulima in Nairobi, medium-sized hotel, groceries, and supermarkets require consistent supply, high-quality vegetables, and reliability. The best way is to grow standard vegetables, sort, grade, package them well, and transport safely. These alone cannot beat the market because African nightshade prices spike significantly during dry seasons. Use staggered planting schedules to ensure you always have produce ready to sell when the market is undersupplied. But everything we have discussed here is only achieved under good agronomic practices and entrepreneurial skills. No wonder the greatest skill of all in life is the ability to learn. It is more important than any academic papers. That's why our next upload is going to change the history of farming. Subscribe, because if you don't, you're going to miss this upcoming upload. You can also watch our next beta version of Managu farming from A to Z. Thank you for believing in us.